Hey everybody, it's Marissa again. We're going to do a mobility and more today, focusing on our knees and our hips. We're first going to go through some stretching, then we'll do some mobility work, and then we'll go into some strengthening work, kind of strengthening up those muscles that we just mobilized to really kind of keep sure that those muscles are going to stay activated the way that we want them to. So you're going to need a mat. I want you to grab one dumbbell for me. And then you're gonna grab 2 sliders, or if you're at home, you could also use plates, paper plates, like if you're on carpet or something, or if you're on some hard floor, you could use some like washcloths or towels or something like that as an alternative if you don't have something like this. So grab your water, turn on some music if you want it, and let's go ahead and get to it. Let me get my timer fixed here. All right, so focusing on our knees and hips, starting with our stretching, we're going to go about 30 to 40 seconds on each move, each side, if we're doing it one side at a time. So the first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna be in a seated position, holding ourselves up, and we're just gonna work on some flexion and extension of that knee. So let's start with that right side. Left leg is flat down on the ground. So you're bringing that knee up as close as you can to that chest. Then you're pushing your heel forward to extend out and feel those quads squeeze. So we're going about 30, 40 seconds on this. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Stretching out those hips, mobilizing them out, and those knees. Good, 3, 2, 1, switch. Knee towards chest, and then extend all the way out. Pressing that heel forward to stretch out. Breathing in through your nose, up through your mouth. Now we're going to go ahead and lie down on the ground. So I want your left leg on the ground, your right leg, we are stretching. So you're going to grab the ankle of that right leg. We're going to stretch out those quads. If you can't quite reach that ankle, what I want you to do is grab a towel or grab one of those yoga stretching bands, wrap it around that ankle so that you can pull it up. But we're relaxing our head down. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. We want that thigh to be in line with that other leg. We don't want it too far forward or too far back. Just keep it in line. Pulling that ankle towards your butt cheek. Couple more deep breaths, and then we'll flip over and switch. Good, switch. So right leg is going to be flat on that ground. Arms straight up. Pulling that left ankle towards your butt. Good, give me a few more deep breaths, just holding this right here. If you wanted to track this on your watch, what I usually do is track this as a cool down for kind of more accurate results on that. Good. Now we're gonna flip it over onto our backs. We're gonna have left leg down flat all the way on the floor. Your right leg is going to come up in a 90-degree knee bent angle. Take both of your hands You are going to wrap it around the back here, kind of about an inch or two under where that knee pit is. And then we're just pressing our heel towards the ceiling, keeping our back flat against that floor. Other leg is flat against the floor as well. So we're focusing on stretching the back of those calves, our soleus muscle, and through those hamstrings as well. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. About 3 more deep breaths. Good, go ahead and switch. Right leg's going flat now, left leg is coming up, hands wrapped around the back of that leg, and then we're pressing that heel towards the ceiling for about 5 good, slow, deep breaths. Focus on those muscles relaxing there in the back of your leg. Good. Exhale. We're going to switch again. So right leg is back up in that knee bent position. This time you're going to take your left hand. You're going to put it on the outside of your leg, and then we're internally rotating that leg just a little bit. So bringing that knee inwards. From there, we're doing the same thing, pointing our heel towards the ceiling. This time, your stretch should feel a little bit more on the outer part of that thigh and outer part of your hip. Keeping up on that breathing. Deep breath, and then we'll switch. Good. Bring that knee back down and switch. Left knee up, slightly brought in. Right hand is on the outside of that thigh. Then we're pressing that heel up. Feeling that stretch on the outer thigh and side of that hip. Good. One more inhale and exhale. Relax those legs down. We're going to bring ourselves now up into a seated position. We're going to go into a 90-90 stretch hold. So, adjust my hair a little bit. What we're doing, your front knee, you are making at a 90-degree angle. Your back leg, back knee is at a 90-degree angle as well. Your torso is up tall. You should feel a stretch in that inner thigh. You might also feel one in the outer hip of your front leg. But sitting up nice and tall, trying to keep your torso facing forward. We don't want to rotate towards that back leg because we're not getting the benefits of the stretch that we want. Trying to get that front leg to be flat against that floor, even if that means you have to press down right there. But we're just holding here for a little bit. Trying to relax out those muscles before we get them moving. If you feel like you want to, You can lean down. Good. Now we're going to switch. So when we are switching, I want you completely opening up your thighs, getting those knees apart, and then switching the other way. So I don't want it to just be a sit up, move those legs around. I want it to be a mindful switch. So I'm gonna go ahead and move so that you can see me and hear me. But anytime that we are switching like that, that's how I want you to do it. Because we'll do that here a little bit later when we get to that mobility section. So torso up nice and tall. I like to have my hands kind of supported on both sides of me so I can make sure that that happens. Remember, we're not rotating towards that back leg. We want to keep rotated forward. Shoulders are back, belly button is in tight. Give me a couple more deep breaths. Good. Open back up. Push those knees apart. Now this time we're going into a figure 4 stretch. So you're going to put your ankle on your knee. You're either staying seated up or you're lying yourself back and then pulling that knee in. Either way, I want the crossed foot. I want you to be pushing that flat. So whichever leg your ankle is on that knee, I want you pushing it out so that it's a little bit flatter. Not too hard, just a gentle little pressure. And then focusing on that breathing. One more deep breath, and then we'll switch. Relax that leg down and we will switch. Ankle on knee, bring it up towards you. Other hand is gently pressing that knee a little bit flatter. If you're pretty tight on one side like I am, sometimes it can be difficult to kind of press, but it's just a gentle pressure. Just enough to kind of let our body know what we're wanting it to do and what we want it to focus on. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Just a couple more deep breaths. Good, and relax that down. Let's go ahead and get into our mobility work. Now that we've kind of relaxed out those muscles a little bit, let's get them kind of lubed up, get them rotating, get them moving. So the first one we're gonna do, we are going to take one leg and we are going to first turn that toe out. Then you are going to extend it out, so straighten out that leg with that toe still out. Next step is going to be to turn that toe in and then bringing that knee in. So we're going out, out, in, working a little bit on that ankle mobility here as well. So go ahead and do that. We're gonna do 45 seconds. So out, out, in, and just repeating that. Keeping that torso up tall. Keep those shoulders out of those ears. We don't want those shoulders tightening up. Trying to relax. Trying to mobilize. Get our joints and our muscles nice and happy. Good. Just about one more. Out, out, in. Relax that down. side. So rotate out, extend out, turn in, bring in. Good, and we're gonna go through each of our moves 2 times, so we'll go through all of them once, then we'll go back up to the top to repeat again. So you'll see this one again here in a little bit. Good, last one. And relax that down. All right, we're going back to our 90-90s that we did there in our stretch. So we've got one knee out, one knee in front, one knee back, both in those 90 degrees. And here, this is where we're practicing that opening up and going down to the other side. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna just go side to side for that 45 seconds. So opening up, spreading those knees apart as you're going down, and then 90, 90 to that other side, keeping that torso up tall. We're doing this nice and slow and controlled. Go at the pace that you need for your joints. Great job. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Good, last one. Open and down. Now we're gonna take this same thing. We're gonna stay on this one side first, then we'll go to the other side. But what you're going to do is we are now going to try and lift up that back foot. So kind of working on some internal rotation of that knee and that hip. For more of a challenge, you are keeping your torso up more tall. If you are a beginner on this and not quite feeling the hip mobility yet, then I want you to stay more down and forward as we bring that up. If you find that you're struggling bringing that back foot up, you can always grab a strap or grab your ankle with your hand and kind of help ease that process for your hip. So doing it a little bit more manually, but like I said, we'll do one side at a time. So let's go ahead and get to that. Go where you feel comfortable, and we're lifting, hold, nice and controlled back down. Trying to keep that torso up tall still. You'll feel some in that outer hip. If you ever start to feel something that you're not sure of, feel free to stop and relax it down. I know with tight muscles and weak muscles, it can tend to sometimes maybe cause some cramping or some discomfort, but that's normal. It's just something that comes with doing this type of stuff more often, getting those joints and the muscles around the joints nice and healthy and strong. We'll do a couple more of these and then we will switch. Good. So open up, down to the other side, and we'll do it on this side as well. So raising up that back foot. And you might find that one side is easier than the other, just due to imbalances and compensations and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely know that this side that I'm on right now, this back leg is definitely needs a little bit more help than the leg that I started off with. So using a little bit of manual assistance here. Just trying the best that we can. and relax from that. So we're gonna be up on our feet now, and we are going to do what's called skiers. So you've got your feet a little bit more narrow, and we're working on that knee mobility a little bit more. So we're keeping our feet in place. You and your toes are forward, not letting them go in or out. And with your knees, you're just going down to one side, back up to the middle, down to the other side. Try to keep your feet as flat as you can on the floor. You don't need to go super low with this. Just enough to get those knees going in a little bit different direction. Make sure you take it nice and slow. If you need something to hold on to, feel free. Take it nice and slow though. Good. Do a couple more each way. Last one, each side. Good. Next one, go to fully standing. We're going to do some modified Kang squats. You might have also heard these being called bootstrappers before. But what you're going to do is your feet are going to be hip width apart, toes are forward. You are either hanging down by your ankles or you are grabbing those ankles. You're starting here with that back flat as much as you can, so keeping those shoulders back. And then we're just dropping that butt down to the ground and back up. Good, so dropping that butt down to the ground, then using our nice and sturdy feet on the floor against that ground and pushing that butt back up. This is really good for those hips and those knees. Good, keep it going. Give me about 4 more. Good, last one. Good. All right, now we are going into some hip shifts. So we're going to be in our half kneeling position, one knee on the ground. So if you need to double up your mat under your knee or put a folded up towel under that knee for a little bit of cushion, feel more than free. Excuse me. But one knee is down, torso up tall, other knee is slightly angled out. So we want this out, toe is leading over that knee. So we are shifting down to open up these hips and then pressing back up. Again, making sure that full foot stays on the ground. Your back foot of this knee is your toes just on that floor. So opening up those hips. In through your nose. Out through your mouth. Working also on squeezing the glute, the butt cheek of the leg that's down. We want to squeeze that forward as we go down. So I use my hands here as kind of reminders and cues that this hand is pushing that glute forward and I'm squeezing it. This hand is guiding this knee back so that it is in line with that second and third toe of this leg. Go ahead and switch sides for me and we'll do it again. So squeezing that glute forward on that kneeling side. This hand is gently guiding that knee to where it's going over the middle of that second and third toe. Again, opening up those groin muscles, opening up those hips there. Great job. 3 more. Giving that little bit of a hold while you're down here at the bottom. Up, let's do one more. Down, hold, and back up. Go ahead and grab a little drink if you need it. We're going back to the top where we're doing that out, out, in with our toes and our legs. So get in that seated position. Left leg down flat, supporting yourself up. Right leg, we are turning out, out, in, and repeat. Out, in. Good, just a few more. Out, in. Good. And switch, left leg up, out, in. Good, just a few more. Still breathing. Good, and relax. Now we're doing those side to sides with those 90-90s. So make that 90 degrees, keep that torso up tall, opening up, pushing those knees out as we switch, and back down. Hold here for a second, and repeat. Very nice. Nice controlled pace. Remembering that breathing. Do about one more. Finish out this one this way. Perfect. Now we're staying right here. We're getting to that back foot lift. I'm actually going to start on this side because it's my weaker side. So we'll go 45 seconds. Trying to lift up that back foot. Anytime that you are doing something where you know one side is going to be more of a struggle, you want to start with that harder side first, that side that's a little bit weaker, because you want to do it how that one side needs it. So for this one, I'm leaning forward a little bit more to help out. So then when I'm on my stronger side, I want to do that exact same thing so that we don't continue to have one side that is stronger while the other side is still struggling. We want to even out that the best that we can. About 3 more of those back lifts. 3, 2, 1. Come up and we switch. Same thing. So for that weaker side, I was a little bit more leaned forward, especially at first. So that's what we're going to do for that stronger side, for that side that does it just a little bit better. relax that. We're back to standing. We've got those skiers, those feet narrow, and we are going down to one side, down to the other, trying not to let those feet lift off the floor, not letting the rest of our body rotate so much, just kind of focusing on those knees. Allowing them to move in all the ways that the joints typically should be able to move. Again, we're not going down super deep. Side to side. Give me a couple more each way. Good, 3, 2, 1. Our legs are at hip width apart. We're going to do those modified king squats or those bootstrappers. So our hands are down here, dropping that butt down, knees going in line with those second and third toes, and then back up. Keep those shoulders back, belly button in tight. Four more. Last one. Good. Half kneeling. One knee is down, butt cheek is forward. One leg is pointed out, opening up, and shifting to the side there. Remember that we're not just trying to bring this knee over that toe. Your big focus is opening up those hips on the inside there. So your mind should be focused on what you're feeling in those places. Good, just a couple more. In through your nose, out through your mouth. One more. Good, switch. Opposite side. Butt cheek forward, this knee going out. One more, a little bit of a hold, exhale to come back up. All right, we are all done with that mobility section. Now we're going to go into our strengthening section. So we're gonna do it kind of the same way, where we're gonna do 2 rounds of all the exercises. But this time, we're just doing 10 repetitions of each. So the first one we're gonna do is called hip carves. So we're gonna go on all 4s here. And we're gonna do 10 on one side, 10 on the other. So what you're first gonna do, take one knee. That knee is coming up, then winging it out, then up in a donkey kick, and back forward. So we're gonna do 10 of those. All right, so go ahead. Another one up, out, keeping that belly button in tight, trying to also keep those arms straight, not letting the rest of your body shift with that. So we're on number 4 here. To the other side, same thing, forward, out, up, and back to the front. 2, out, up, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, out, up, forward, 10. Great job. All right, next one, we are going to do some sumo squats. So we are going to, you can either do it body weight or grab the dumbbell weight that you grabbed. Legs out a little bit wider, toes slightly pointed out, and we're working on getting that torso up straight and tall, going straight down with it, as low as we can go, those knees going in line with that second and third toe. So 10 of these, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Squeeze those butt cheeks up at the top. You should start to kind of begin that butt cheek squeeze as you are pushing yourself up. So it's not going to be a full squeeze, but we're starting that contraction from down here, squeeze up. We got 4 more. 3, 2, and last one, up. Now we're going to go into some hamstring curls. So how we're going to do this, we are putting this dumbbell up. Actually, there's an easier way to do this. You are going to sit down, put that dumbbell in between your feet, lock and load it, nice and sturdy. From here, keep that weight in between your feet as we are flipping over, okay? So that dumbbell should be in between those feet still. We're gonna do hamstring curls. So keeping that belly button in tight, squeezing those butt cheeks, bringing that weight down nice and controlled, and bringing it up. Working the back of those legs. Trying to get both sides to contract equally. So we don't want one side working harder than the other. This is number 4 for me. We'll do 6 more. 6. Don't let that weight touch the floor. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. All right, go ahead and drop that weight. Let's go up to standing. So getting back up on our feet. We're gonna do the same thing with those king squats that we did earlier, but this time we are holding our weight. You can either choose to hold it up on that chest or bring it up onto those shoulders right there, elbows forward, And we are going into a hinge first. So pushing that butt backwards with that flat back. And then you're dropping your butt down, pressing through those heels to go back to that number 7 position. Up, squeezing those butt cheeks. All right, so let's continue. Hinge, drop, push through those heels up, stand. That's 2. 3, if this isn't working for you, go back to the way we did it in that mobility where you're holding at those ankles, and we'll work our way up to doing them weighted. Good, let's do 5 more. Drop, toes forward, 4, 3, 2, and last one. 1, squeeze. Nice job. I'm gonna grab a little sip real quick. We've got a couple more exercises. Got a couple more exercises of this round, then we'll do one more round of each. So the next one we're gonna do, you can find something to hold on to if you feel like you need it, because we're going single leg. All right, so we are going into that figure 4 where you've got that ankle up on that knee. And then we are dropping down into this pose here. Just a slight bend, not a full squat. We are holding for 30 seconds. Really challenging the stability of our feet, ankle, knees, and hips to strengthen up those supporting joints, supporting muscles around those joints. So we're just trying to keep that balance. Hold just a little bit longer. 3, 2, 1, and switch. So it's okay to feel that imbalance. That's what we are trying to do. We're trying to allow our body that time to learn how to adapt to this type of stressor. So the stability work is very, very important to keep those joints healthy and strong, as well as the mobility, because you never know when you're going to step on something wrong, you're going to step on the side of the curb wrong, your heel from your high heel is going to break, something like that. We'd rather not have a rolled ankle or a popped knee or a hip or something. So good, 3, 2, and 1. The last exercise of our rounds, we are grabbing those sliders. You've got 2 of them, or those washcloths or those plates. You're going to press those heels into those sliders. Your legs are out wide, and we are doing 1 at a time. So we'll do 10 on this side. Keep that torso up tall, shoulders are back, belly button is in tight. Good, and as you're coming up, you're feeling the contraction of those hip flexors and those groin muscles. Got about 4 more, so it's 4, 3, keep it out wide as you can, 2, but not too wide to where you're cramping up, and 1, switch. You don't want to push your body past that limit. Not with some stuff, at least. Good. 6, counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Squeeze up. Good. All right, we are back to the top with those hip cars. So we're getting back on our all fours. This is where we're going forward with that knee, out, back, and then forward again. So start with that left side. Here we go, forward, out, back, up, 1. Good, let's count down. 9, 8, keep that belly button in. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put that knee down and we're switching. So forward, out, up, back to forward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, out, up, and forward. Now we're back to those sumo squats, legs out wide, toes slightly pointed out, working on those hips and those knees again. Toes going in line with with the knees going in line with that second and third toe, keeping that torso tall, down, up, squeeze, just doing 10, 9, in through your nose, out through your mouth, 8, 7, 6, 5, nice and controlled, 4, 3, last 2, and last one. Good. Back to those hamstring curls. Grab that dumbbell, put it in between your feet, and roll it on over. Keeping it flat down here on the floor. Here we go. Down, but not touching that ground. Up to squeeze the back of those legs. 9, 8, 7, keep those feet pressed together. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Up, squeeze. Relax that down. Last couple moves before we are all done today. Going back to that stability with that figure 4. Take a deep breath in, ankle on that knee. Find that balance before you go down into that little bit of a squat. And we are holding for 30. Keep that belly button in tight, letting your body adapt to that instability. Good, keep that breathing up. If you lose that balance, just breathe, try to find it again. Just got about 5 seconds. Good, 3, 2, 1, up, switch for the last time. For 30. Good, 10 more seconds. Three, 2, 1. Finish out with me. Grab those sliders or those towels or those plates. Legs out wide, heels pressed in, and bringing it up close and back out. Keep that torso tall, belly button pulled in. Keep that core activated. And 7, counting down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, then we'll switch. 1, back out, other side. Good, 6, counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax that down. All right, guys, we are all done. If you wanted to, you could repeat that stretching from the beginning again. Otherwise, we're all done mobilizing and strengthening out those knees and those hips. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.